Hello my little Stormclouds and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. So I've decided to do a little tour of this because the Sims camera, when I do all the like swerving stuff, is not fun when you're this high up. I will just show you. If I try to go inside, you'll see it moves so fast. So I'm going to tour it just by like going down each level and showing you like this as best as I can. So this is the top of the build. We have the little sparring ring. So at one point in the book, Cassian does draw a chalk circle, and I've got these little markers here. These are from Get Famous, so your Sims can sword fight. Over here we have some black yoga mats, and the reason I've done this is because at one point in the book it does say Nesta is lying down looking up at the sky on a black mat. So I was like, it's when she's stretching out. So I've put a couple of yoga mats down, and we have Gwyn and Emery here. And I also have put a couple of lounge chairs there for Amryn and more. We have the little ribbon on a pole here. And then over here we have a little sword rack, and we also have bows, which Cassian at one point says like they're almost as large as a human woman. And I was like, well, bows are like, I'm 5'2" and my bow is almost the same size as me, so I'm like that's normal. There was also a mention of a skinny mirror next to the rack, so I've placed a mirror here, and you might see this tiny little thing here. I just wanted to add something else for fitness, so there is a wall climber thing here from the fitness pack, and it makes it look like they are climbing up the edge of the mountain. So over here as well, at one point Cassian does put a rope ladder down. So I made a rope ladder out of random things. It is not rope. And your sim can hopscotch across this. You might see this little tiny thing here. So it does make it functional. And then here I just made some dummies. Again, fitness stuff. I just wanted to add, this is not mentioned in the actual book, but I wanted it to be functional for Sims, so I decided to add things that would actually help your Sims out. And there is the little fighting thing here from Strangerville, and it makes it look like they're fighting the dummies. So I couldn't do any more than 4 floors, so this technically is just a half wall with an awning on. It doesn't actually have a roof because I can't, because I'm not allowed to go any further up. This is just a little bit of an overview for you guys. Hopefully I didn't miss anything on there, because I'm pretty sure there wasn't much else. So if we go down a level, it comes down this way and it comes into the main dining area, which is where they always fly into, which is the largest balcony. And I think I made it the largest, other than like this one, which is just like on top of the build. I just couldn't think of another room to go here. And it said it was a lot of accented wood in here, so we did do wood. I really wasn't sure what to put in here. There was so much room, so it might be a little bit empty. You can fill it in if you want and add more things. I use these chairs because it does say that the wings have holes in them for them. So this one's got holes, so we're saying that's why. And I've just done little subtle touches like this. We've got like the moon and stars and stuff like that. And I'm just thinking, it's the night court. I wanted to add little hints towards that in there. This is an empty room back here. You can do whatever you want with this. And I've added a bathroom on this level as well, because it is a nightmare with your Sims having to go up and down all the time. So, like I said, I've done creative things that aren't mentioned in the book to make it easy for your Sims. Across here, it just goes out onto a patio, because I wasn't sure what to do here, because there was just room above this room. So I just put a little fountain on there and some seating. And then if we go across, I've added a kitchen here. The kitchen is not this level in the books. It is the lowest floor that is mentioned, other than the library that is beneath the mountain. But again, because it's The Sims, I didn't want our Sims have to walk all the way down the stairs to make food. So I added a kitchen up here as well. And there is a little balcony there as well. And we've got halls. All of the halls, so they're really dimly lit and lit by little sconces. So that's why I think they're towards the back of the house. So that's why I've done them down here. And most of the front of the house is lined with windows. And then again, I didn't want this just to be a massive balcony, so I added a living area here. Again, this is not mentioned. Again, there's quite a lot of space. That is because of how many rooms are underneath this. And I added another little patio here. So here's where we get to the bit where the layout should be sort of correct. So we know the dining room's here, and Nesta says to her right, and down the 2 flights of stairs is hers and Elain's room. And then later on in the books, Cassian says that hers is the level above. So that means the next level down is Cassian's level and also Az's level, because he says it is 2 doors down from his. So this is Cassian's. I did it in the red just to add a subtle hint to the red siphons. And he does mention that he has a lot of swords and stuff around the place. So I added a few around the place. And then between Cass and Az's room, it does mention that there is a little living area and that there is 4 chairs. Az's chair is closest to the door, but Moore's is next to it. So it was like, oh yeah, Az's, and then Cassian's close to the window, and Moore is next to Az, and Rhysand's is next to Cassian's. So I just arranged it like this. I really was not sure what to put in here, but I kept it pretty small. And then we have Az's room, and we have the blue colour for Az. And again, little hints to the night court with some moons around the place. I've just realised there's no door to this as well. This is why these little tours are great, because I find things that are wrong, which means I'm going to have to move this. And then if we come all the way down here, Rhysand's room is actually never mentioned, but I'm like, he has to have a room. So I've done Rhysand's room here. We'll say Rhysand and Feyre's. And I kept it with the night sky and stuff on this bed and kept it pretty dark. It's quite basic. I was not sure what else to add into here because it was so big. And then we have a little bathroom here. Like I said, you can go and add more details if you want. And then down this hall is where we get to the 10,000 steps, which for me isn't steps, it is ladders. And the reason for that is because she just says she spirals down, and spiral staircases are not in The Sims 4. And I was like, ladders are like the next best thing, especially if I want it in that spiral shaped tower that goes all the way down. So you might see as well, there's this room here, which is actually on the floor below. It is just too high. And this is the private library, which is on the same floor as Nesta and Elain. So if we go down, this is Nesta's room. The things that I mentioned in here is that she has, I don't know, it was like white or ivory bedding and also grey velvet curtains. So we're using grey curtains, and there was always a wall of windows in these bedrooms. It was the same with Elain's, so I've put it there. She says she goes in, and on her left is the bed, a big 4-poster bed, and on the right is a little sitting area. And we do know that there is a fireplace because she asked the house to turn the fire off multiple times. And hers and Elaine's room are joined. It does get closed up later on in the books, but I've joined them for now. And for Elaine's room, I added little subtle hints of flowers since she likes gardening, and kept it a little bit more light and airy compared to Nesta's, like with lighter curtains. And at one point she says she's sat in a chair looking out over the Cedrus, so that's why I've placed chairs here. And I still added a fireplace because I'm like, if Nesta's room has one, I have a feeling Elaine's would as well. And then she has her bathroom over here, again, which I forgot to put a light in, so let's pop it there. So next to it, I added the library, which it says it has thousands of books. So I was like, it has to be sort of decent size, even though it says a small library. I was like, yeah, it's got to be decent size. Also, I mentioned of a desk in front of the library window, so I did add a desk here. And there is armchairs and stuff. Again, there was a mention of Nesta telling the house to turn off the fire, so there has to be a fireplace in there. This also has to be big enough to fit 3 bathtubs in. If you've got that far in the books, you'll know why. And then lastly, this is Lucien's room, and I've added dark rugs here because it is mentioned that there is midnight blue rugs, so I added that. And the reason I did Lucien's room here is because Rhysand, when taking him to the room, said it's at the other side of the house from Nesta and Elain. So the best I could do was like the other side of the library. Again, we've got the thingy going down there as well. And then on the last floor, the only thing that is mentioned is the kitchen and wine cellar, which is the only thing mentioned on this last floor. So I've got a little wine cellar here, a little kitchen, and I added a dining room here just because there was so much room down here, but I didn't want to make this any smaller because the rest of the house was so big it looked odd just having this little small bit underneath. So I ended up doing that. You'll see there's a lot of touches of blue. Again, that's supposed to be like a sort of hint to the night court, like blue night sky, and that's just how my brain works. And then we can see here, because of the way the Sims works, I had to do the ladders on the outside here because you can only do 4 stories high and you have to have the foundation underneath it. So that is why it looks like that. This one doesn't look like it's got a foundation there, but it's actually an invisible foundation. That's why we have these little things here, because if I get rid of it, you can see there's a little weird glitch thing here going on because of the invisible foundation. It looked weird having the invisible foundation here, so I just did the ladders going down the side, and your Sim can get out of here. Yeah, everything in this house is fully functional. It's a little bit difficult to work with it being so high up. The camera does glitch a little bit, but it's not the worst. But that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!